And do not.
Yo, Hip Hop Heist, man. What up? We back at it with another reaction. Pooh Shiesty lawyer destroys Gucci Mane and feds claiming no physical evidence and statement given. Shout out to Chig Smooth with the clip. We about to react to this clip. We Hip Hop Heist TV. So let's get to it, man. Why is Dana White the lawyer for Pooh Shiesty? Oh, my bad. That's not Dana White, manager of the UFC. That's Pooh Shiesty lawyer, man. So yeah, let's get into it. We're gonna listen to what Chig's got to say. We're gonna listen to some facts about this situation. We're gonna listen to just Chig's news about it, and then we're gonna react to it all. So let's get to it, man. So shout out Chig's for this clip. We are Hip Hop Heist TV, so let's get it.
Crimes. However, if you have to, just make sure you got enough money to get yourself a good lawyer. Now, luckily for Pooh Shiesty, he's actually got one of the best in the business, Bradford Cohen. Now, today in court, to nobody's surprise, Pooh
AKA Dana White. Alright.
He was denied bond. The judge...
Why Pooh Shiesty look like Kendrick Lamar a little bit? Do anybody see that? I don't know, that maybe it looked like he honestly looked like Kendrick Lamar just a little bit, bro. They got like, it's just, I don't know where it is, but I see Kendrick when I see Pooh Shiesty, boom.
Declared that she found sufficient evidence to proceed, stating, "I find that there is probable cause," and adding that she could not identify any release conditions that hadn't already been considered towards Pooh Shiesty. So ultimately, she granted the government's motion for detention, which means Pooh Shiesty is going to remain in custody until the trial starts. Now, best case scenario is that he gets a date for trial this year. Now, after the court hearing today, his lawyer Brad Cohen went absolutely nuts, not only on the feds, but also on Gucci as well. You guys remember the press conference the feds gave last week when they arrested him? And the reason why they waited so long?
Defendant's roles in the federal offense. This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered.
He's naming everything. I mean, the lawyer says there's no proof, but everything that the dude from the cop, I mean, you know, the 12 is like, you know, like they're reading it off. All that is, this sounds like they have proof. So I don't know what we about to react to, but let's get to it.
The crime scene matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. In this case, came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document.
This is Chase with the Dallas Morning News again. So the initial incident happens in January 10th. We're here in April. Can you describe the timeline and the length of time, you know, why we're talking about this now? Because it sounds like these arrests happened recently. And then the second part of that question, did all of the arrests happen yesterday, or were they happening over the span of time that we're talking about?
Yeah, good questions. I'll start with the last part. 8 of the 9 happened yesterday, and then we're still working on one more. And that was, again, a lot of those happened in Memphis. One happened in Nashville, and we're working now with our Georgia counterparts to get the last person brought to justice. Do you want to ask another question, follow up to that?
Actually, I forgot to get to it. I'm going to come back to me after you.
Okay, and remind me of your first part, sir.
We had the initial incident on January 10th,
Yep.
here April 2nd. Can you describe and kind of characterize why, you know, that amount of time passed before you were arrested?
Well, That was one of the reasons I wanted to list off some of the evidence that has been uncovered to date. A lot of this was subpoena work, search warrant work, and things like that in order to develop the investigation. And so the agents here with me, the agents out in the field, it takes a little bit of time to identify who did this offense and build a case so that we feel comfortable bringing the charges. So actually that's pretty quickly for a federal case of this gravity and this nature, and so I'm very proud of the investigative work, and it will continue from this office as well as our FBI and our local police department.
Well, Pooh Shiesty's lawyer Bradford Cohen is calling BS. Not only is he claiming the feds have absolutely no evidence, but he's also claiming that the owner of the studio, who was actually there during the robbery and kidnapping, did not hear a peep. That's right, you guys, this is absolutely wild. Now, Pooh Shiesty's lawyer also goes on to claim that the feds have no physical evidence. Here's what he said.
COHEN, Psalm Zegane, John Helms.
Any questions, just look straight in the middle.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we had a bond hearing today and a PC hearing today. I think that the relevant things that were said today that I thought were fascinating were that it took 3 months to build the case. And I think the reason for that was because the statements that were given on the evening that this occurred were very questionable. I think the way that the statements were made, what was made, what allegedly was witnessed and what wasn't witnessed, I think gave great pause to the FBI. The FBI doesn't take 3 months to arrest someone if they believe everything that was said on the night that it occurred. They were involved the first night, and then nothing happened for 3 months. In addition to that I thought was quite embarrassing was that an FBI agent says they don't have the resources to keep their eye on an individual. This is allegedly an individual that committed a crime that they then didn't watch to see if the guns were present, if the jewelry was present. And what didn't we hear today? What we didn't hear today is there is no contract, this mystery contract. They have no contract. They have no video of this alleged signing of a contract. They have no guns. They have no jewelry. They have none of that physical evidence. What they have is they have allegedly 5 individuals, one of them being a very well-known individual that is allegedly cooperating with the government and making these allegations against my client and many more. I'm going to take like 1 or 2 questions and then we're going to scoop.
You're essentially arguing they've got on the he said kind of case, no evidence.
Correct. Yeah, it's very fair. I think that this is it's a he said type of a case. I mean, obviously, there's 5 individuals on one side. What we're missing are the other people that were present in the room, right? The owner of the studio who says he didn't hear anything or see anything. The way they leave the studio, where no one is in concert with anybody else, no one's arguing with anyone else. One of the individuals says, "Hey, can I get my watches back?" Like, the story is quite unusual. And I think that the FBI knew that. I think the investigators knew that it was unusual. And I think that's why it took so long to make the arrest.
What is your response to the judge saying that, your client still violated the terms of this ankle monitor location?
Sure. Those are all things that are going to be, flushed out. The fact is that he was allowed to be in certain areas at certain times. That really was.
You gotta understand, like that part too. I think he worked. So when you're on the ankle monitor, like they respect when your job, right? So he is an artist, right? So he can be at the studios. He was signed to Gucci, so it wasn't like he was going out of the norm to somewhere that he wasn't supposed to be, right? Like he was supposed to be at the studio. They were gonna have a meeting, and then this allegedly all went down, right? But it could have been just an argument. It really could have been just an argument, and it got out of hand or what have you. But yeah. We're gonna get out of here, man. This Hip Hop Heist TV. Let me know what you think about what the lawyer said. Shout out to Chick Smooth for making this clip so that we could react to it. And yeah, man, go follow him, and we are Hip Hop Heist, so go follow us and check out the merch down below. We're gonna keep bringing clips. Let's get it.